to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
me, Rob. Let's talk about some injuries.
We haven't done this in a while, but guess what?
Ooh.
Guess what it's time to do?
Oh.
No, it's the injury report. Oh, we have so many injuries going on, guys. So many injuries. It's like, what are we going to do this whole episode on just the injuries? That's how bad it's getting for the Giants. And we're not Viking bad yet. Don't get me wrong. Like, they're not long-term injuries, but there's a lot of it. Yeah, we'll get into the Vikings a little later. But so, yeah.
Let's go easy on the permanent injuries with the Vikings.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, well, it's okay. We can mock them. They're our opponent. So,
yeah.
First up, we had the one that was a big scare. And as usual, guys, I have to advise again. Stop letting people freak you out. This is what happens every year. The media is there to freak you out over every single thing, to keep you watching all the headlines of the Giants. If anything major actually happens, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, tune in.
Yeah.
We'll definitely let you know.
Tyrone Tracy had an injury in training camp this week here on Tuesday. He muffed a kickoff and went down untouched. No one went in. It was a non-contact injury at that point there. Initially, they put him in an air cast, carted him off the field. Like, this is the type of stuff you do for, like, major season-ending type of injuries at that point. And that's not what the scenario was. He didn't get any kind of major injury. So what he got was, they're saying it's a sprained ankle now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not disappointed that he only got was that. It's like, oh, damn. But it's like, if you listen to the way media talked about this when it first happened, it just freaked out the fan base. It was like when Jermaine Illuminor got hurt all over again. And guys, he was back like 2 days later.
He literally just had to pass that chorizo burrito that he had.
Yeah, like, not everything. I know, and that's the problem with Giant fans. We've been hit with so many things over the years that we just assume the worst right off the bat, guys. It's not always the worst. Sometimes you luck out, and it's just a temporary injury at that point. That's what we got. So, he's expected, they're saying, to be back either late August or early September. So he'll be back right around the start of the season, whether it's, the actual season opener or a week or two later, we're going to find out. But no matter what, we will not be more injured than the team we're going to face week one. So let's not be as worried about that kind of stuff. So,
playing dirty.
We need this guy for the stretch, because if you really want to have a playoff contending team, I know people are going to laugh when I say it that time, but people would have laughed at us if I said that in 22 as well. So, but if you want to have a playoff contending team, you need him down the stretch. Him being out week 1 or week 2 is not that huge of a deal right now. You want him healthy when it matters the most down the stretch. So, let's get him healthy. Let's get him going. And hopefully this doesn't hinder the development and the learning curve that he's going to have as a rookie in this league. But this is one of the best positions to be a rookie in. And that sounds weird to say. But running backs hit the ground running. No pun intended.
I see what you did there.
I didn't mean to do it that way, but it's just...
Yeah, you definitely...
That's what they do. I mean, they go ahead and succeed a lot of times right off the bat. See, I didn't say it that way. So, it's not like a corner or a quarterback or, even some of the linemen that struggle usually their rookie year. Wide receiver and running back, especially on offense, but you can make the case easily for the entire team, are the easiest positions in the NFL to go into and dominate right off the bat. Because all you basically need to know is, where do I run to? And where's the ball going to be? If you're a receiver. Yeah. That's it. That's why you always see those guys succeed. Every year there's a running back that succeeds, or at least a couple sometimes, but now it seems like one, because nobody runs the ball anymore. Or there's one or two receivers that do very well their rookie year as well. Last year, Jordan Addison did very good. Zeke Flowers did very good.
Almost like we predicted that too.
Yeah, crazy. we were wrong so far on Jackson Smith and Najigba, but I mean, again, he was third running back, third receiver so far. So let's see when he actually gets some playing time. But
that's not fair.
Tracy can still go in, still perform, still have a good rookie year. So don't let that kind of stuff worry you, because listen, things will happen. Little injuries will happen here and there. You can't let them all worry you at that point, because not every single one of them is going to be big. So wait till it's big. Worry when you got to worry. Don't worry till you don't got to worry. So,
touche.
Next up, another running back injured, Turbo Miller.
Oh, jeez.
Dante Turbo Miller. Go for it, Robin. You want to do it? Can't help doing a Schwarzenegger for that. But yeah, he's also injured. He was limited practice on Tuesday with a hamstring issue. His status for the game this week is unknown. So if you want to know how serious an injury it is, that's a very telling sign, guys. Like, they're saying basically he might play Saturday. What that tells you is it's not that bad. We just may take him out. We're not playing the games. We don't want to have a longer injury process for him. It's the preseason.
Yeah.
But I will say this guy's still on the cusp of making the team and not a guaranteed lock. So I think he will make the team. Just the vibe I get. I mean, if they're going to do that run by committee thing and you have a bunch of guys that can run well, go for it. Have that committee. Get that committee going. So, and he'll provide, I think, something on special teams as well. I really do. Especially, I think he's still built to be a returner in this league too. I still think he could do that. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out to see if he's there on Saturday. But if he's not there Saturday, he'll be there next Saturday against the Jets. And they're going to give him some rushes, I think, in this preseason, assuming he's healthy, because again, he hasn't played football in almost 2 years, minus the 6 carries he had in South Carolina. So, you want to get him back to hitting again. You want to get him back to cutting, getting the instincts back. It's almost like riding a bike. If anybody's ever had a huge time frame that they didn't ride a bike for and then try to ride a bike again, it's a little awkward in the beginning. But once you get back into the swing of things, it becomes feeling a little more natural again.
When's the last time you rode a bike?
Oh, okay. So here's why I use that analogy. I'm going to give you this one, okay? Now, for those who aren't aware, I know my physique may otherwise say it. My man belly and slight moves going on here, but
moves.
Yeah, but I have not ridden a bike for years and years and years, probably since I was like a kid. And then all of a sudden, when I went to Chicago, which was, I'm trying to think, about 10 years ago, if I had to guess, I decided I like to explore whenever I go to a city. So I decided I was going to do one of those bikes that you can rent. You like pay it rent it for the day kind of things or whatever, and you just pop it back when you're done. One of those kind of things. So I'm staying by the Navy Pier, for those who know Chicago and the layout there. I'm staying at Navy Pier, and I figured, what better way to do this than a tour of the Chicago stadiums? So I go over to the United Center to go ahead and see the Jordan statue. There's some Blackhawk stuff one too, but I'm not a hockey person. Then I went from there up to Wrigley. Then stopped off, did a tour of Wrigley, ate at Wrigleyville. And then from there, took a bike ride down to Soldier Field, which is not too far from where I started. I did not go to the White Sox one. That's the only one I didn't do. But yeah, I mean, I was absolutely exhausted. That's like 10 miles on a bike, dude. But when I first got on, like, I was worried I was going to fall into oncoming traffic and stuff. I was more like a bear on a unicycle. That's what I was kind of like. It was not pleasant. But after like 15 minutes or so of going, it went back to like it was when I was a kid. I just knew how to do it. Same kind of thing. That's a very long story for me to give this analogy. I should not give this analogy again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was worse when I met Sanderson.
I never said it was the most amazing story ever. You're the one who did. As John.
Better Gilgamesh.
Jordan. I had to. Like, listen, there's a Jordan statue. You go to Chicago, you got to see the Jordan statue. It's a rule. It's a rule. Even though it's like hidden, it's not like right up front like it used to be. It's in like one of the corners of the stadium. At least it was 10 years ago. let's get on to our next injury here. We're done with running backs. No more injured running backs. Instead, we have our star rookie, Malik Nabers, of course. We've talked about him being injured in the past year. But we got to give you guys the update. It's not just new injuries. We're giving you guys updates with this as well. So Malik Nabers, again, dealing with a low ankle sprain. He was interviewed after practice there and said he'll be ready for week 1 is what he said. And he said he didn't even rule out playing next week against the Jets in the preseason finale. So he's listed officially as day-to-day. I'm kind of hoping he gets in against the Jets. I want to see him get a little bit of live action like that. Like actual passing plays. Because week 1, we did run. Like there wasn't much passing. I want to see him actually get coverage against actual NFL corners.
I want to see that. But at the same time, I want to see him in the regular season.
Explode. Oh, no.
And so if he needs an extra week, I'd much rather see him sit out a week and get, Of
course. Have
a better
Here's
season.
a good one, though, for you. But does missing the time in preseason games and camp, though, hurt his start of the season, though?
I mean, we were playing that well in college. I mean, maybe.
But it's still a new offense. It's a new, you're
new regime. You learn different plays.
I mean, and we can't just say, "Oh, he succeeded in college; he'll be fine." Because how many busts are the NFL draft every year?
Say
right? I just know someone's going to suggest that that's what it's going to be. Oh, he was a star in college; he'll be fine. Yeah,
it's fine. It's
so was it Kevin White? That it was Kevin White. Is that his name? The guy that the Bears drafted in the first round and had like 3 catches for his career. Yes, it was Kevin White. Yeah, who hasn't played since 2022 now. He had 28. I take it back. He had 28 receptions for his career. 19 in his rookie year. That was a good pick. 7th pick overall. Not too far off from Malik Nabers. Just saying. They're not all studs, guys. If you had said to Bears fans,
the Debbie Downer. Within the first,
I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer. I'm just saying you can't just assume he's going to succeed like that. And you can't just assume he's ready to play against NFL talent because of that either. Now, I think he's going to be a stud personally. I've said it before. I'll stick to that, and I will look like a fool if he's not. That's fine.
Yeah,
but
neighbors don't do that to me.
I'm just saying. I think it still helps to have time in camp to learn the offense, to learn playing against better talent. That's all I'm saying. The other option is to just come in and ball out like OBJ. I mean, when Odell Beckham was a rookie, he missed the first couple of games even, and he still almost broke the record for most yards in the NFL for an NFL, receiving yards for an NFL rookie receiver there. I mean, it's just that to me, it's the best rookie year of any receiver. Sorry, Puka. I know Puka Nacua broke the record in the end, but that was just an amazing year. And either case can be made, and neither person is wrong. Neither person's wrong, except for John, who says Debbie Downer is a hottie. Yes, I'm drinking. I could be wrong. I figured he is drinking. She's not. Yeah, that's your style, man. That's your style. Go for it.
Yeah. Unsexy librarian.
But yeah, so. Yeah, he's still listed. Like I said, he's still listed day to day. We'll see what happens. But the good news is, like I said, he's going to be there for the first week. So at least one of the teams in that game will have both their, all their stars for the receiving core. We'll get to that a little bit later. Still, we keep on poking at the Vikings fans, just poking away, poka.
Oh,
any more poke? We'd be like a German band. Is it German polka music? I don't
know. Polka.
Okay, I don't know.
Dramatic, yes.
But anyway, like I said, we'll have to see what happens there. Like I said, I'll stick all day long to the fact that I think he's gonna be a beast. And in the end, I don't think it's gonna hurt him to stay out of the game. I think he's gonna be that good of a player that you just want him healthy and just let him go do his thing.
Yeah. That's what I was getting to. That's what I was alluding to prior to you taking over. But yeah.
Wow.
You just went, hey, I hear what you're saying, but
I'm playing both sides of the coin here. I am. I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying either one's an option. You could also have a slow start because that's all I'm saying.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, see? Way to take my side.
Technically, I think we're on the same side the whole time.
No, you're on the right side. I'm on the left side.
I mean, that's only if you're viewing us on YouTube.
Yes.
But if you're on Spotify, you can't see that.
It's horrible. I hate that. I would be so upset if I was one of those people like I can't see what they're talking about. This is why I have to go to YouTube and subscribe. Speaking of subscribing on YouTube,
enter to win a Daniel Jones signed jersey. Simply subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@2giantgoofballs, and email a screenshot to 2giantgoofballs@mail.com to enter. Only one submission allowed per subscriber. Monthly subscribers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs will get an additional 2 entries. Contest ends when the channel reaches 1,000 subscribers. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. This contest is not affiliated with the NFL, New York Giants, Daniel Jones, or any other person or company besides the 2 Giant Goofball podcast. Good luck to everyone.
there we go. So if you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe. Go ahead and send the email out. And then also don't forget that if you go to buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs, you get extra entries. John, I see you in the comments section. I'm going to call you out, man. You have not signed up for this. Calling him out. Doing it.
Shame on you.
Doing it. Calling him out.
You have enough points to possibly be up there.
He does. I mean, he gets the extra points as a member of the Buy Me a Coffee group there. So, all right, let's get into the next one here. And it's another new injury here. Lawrence Cager. We're dropping like fives here, guys. We're dropping like fives. I don't know what it's all these injuries lately. Again, nothing major though. That's the nice thing, at least. It's a whole bunch of minor injuries. So Lawrence Cager is dealing with a groin injury. Head coach Brian Dable said that he's going to be down for a little while. Didn't really elaborate too much beyond that. He's listed as week to week, guys. But again, this is another guy like we talked about with Dante Miller before. This is a guy who's on the cusp of making or not making this roster. Let's be honest. The coaching staff likes him. They wouldn't keep him around the last couple of years. They didn't. But
it's also a new coaching staff, Drew. So that's they're paying him.
Did Dable get fired? I missed something.
You're not wrong, but I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of new coaches around this.
I know there's new position coaches and stuff, but I'm saying Shane's still there, Dable's still there. You know, like this. That's the way it's going to be at that point there. So, you know, you got a guy who's competing at that point for basically third or fourth tight end, depending on how many tight ends we keep. And that's part of the question. A lot of these conversations come into how many do we keep at that position? You know, same as Turbo Miller, same as Tommy DeVito, these conversations. You know, how many tight ends we end up keeping? Because you got obviously Bellinger is going to be there. Theo Johnson's going to be there. You know, and then after that, it's like just like
I'm pretty sure, like, I may be mistaken, but I want to say like after the 2022 season, we paid this guy $9 million for the 2 years. So I don't know what's guaranteed, what's not, but like it's structured. Cager.
No, Cager got a minimum deal.
Was it minimum?
I'll double check. But I'm
Did I just pull that out of my butt?
I think you may have. I think you're thinking of somebody else there at that point. Nope, that's the wrong Lawrence Cager there. Lawrence put Cage instead of Cager. He's not one of the guys from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, he's like just over $1 million. That's it.
Okay.
And it's no guaranteed money. Actually, no, it's all guaranteed money. I take it back. It's all guaranteed money. So, but either way, $1 million is not going to make or break as far as that.
No.
But like I said, the big thing is, like I said, it's you keep a fourth tight end. I think that's the determining factor whether you keep him. Because again, Bellinger and Theo Johnson are going to be there. You got to think like Manhurts or Stoll are going to be there as a blocking tight end. Probably Manhurts.
I mean, we said the same thing last year as well when it came to the tight ends.
And he didn't.
At least I did. At least I said that.
I can't. I barely remember what I had for breakfast. You think I remember what I said last year about Lawrence Cager?
Oh, no. Cager was the third string, right? He was third string last year. But I said they possibly would have 3 to 4.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember that.
Because I had my Jack in there as well. Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, this year, I think especially, I think they're so dead set on protecting Daniel Jones because of the injuries he's had that they'll keep, like I said, probably Manhurts at that point to be a blocking tight end specifically, almost like a
not just
a third tackle basically.
Yeah, and you're not wrong for saying that because it's not just DJ. We don't have Barkley anymore, so
Yeah, I mean, they might need help in the running game.
Singletary. Yeah. So
especially with guys like John Runyon who aren't as good at run blocking as they are pass blocking. Might be a little extra help there in that regard. But, and he also nowadays some of these tight ends they act like a fullback too, and Manhurst can do that. Theo Johnson can do that. He did that at Penn State. So yeah, like I said, you might see it. Depends on how much they really want to keep Cager. But it also you got that. It's like it's not even competing against tight ends at that point. He's going to be competing against, the Tommy DeVitos and the Dante Millers of the world at that point, basically, for like that extra spot, basically. But
yeah, you're not wrong.
Like I said, it depends on how long he's out. I mean, if he's out for a little while, because they're listing him as week to week. If he's out for a little while and it's all you had was to go based on, like, yeah, he's been on the roster for a couple of years, but it's not he did anything. The week one, where you're like, oh, gotta have Lawrence Cager on this team. So
I don't think we've ever really felt that as a fan base.
No, we definitely did not.
He had some nice catches.
When we first signed him, we liked having him when Bellinger got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Years ago,
nice catches, but it's
and that's the thing. He gives you just enough glimmer to be interested in him. That's what it is.
Yes. He's a like, honey potter.
He is. He's like that girl you almost give up on, but then she calls you last minute as you're about to say, I'm done.
Yes. I'm pretty sure the Offspring has a song about it.
I'm pretty sure they have a lot of songs. They've been around for 70 years, seems like so.
It seems like it.
It does seem like it. They're starting to look like that too, so. Next up, we got another new injury here. On the offensive line, John Runyon Jr. is also getting an injury here. So he hurt his shoulder on Monday during practice there. Another one that doesn't sound the injury is too severe, but they kept him out a little bit there for a bit of caution there, so to speak. Who knows what he's going to even play on Saturday? I haven't heard anything really. It's kind of like they took him out, they didn't play him, and they didn't really talk about it much after that. So the fact that it's a no topic for the most part tells me that it's probably not a major injury, or there'd be a whole lot of questions, that's for sure. So, but I'm hoping he's able to play on Saturday because I want to see the whole line together. That's my big thing. I really just want to see this whole line together. So
the boys are back in town.
We'll have to see. By the way, and I did not know this until just now, and I just did a quick Google search on my second screen to verify there's no new news on him. He got married last week.
Oh, kudos to him.
Yeah. Married a Victoria Schultz in an old Hollywood wedding, apparently. So, kudos to him on that. It's I'm looking. People Magazine was there taking photographs. This is swanky, very swanky.
Oh.
There's champagne being popped. There he is with his dad posing and everything. So, yeah, very nice event. It looks like there, which obviously he can afford a nice event. When you just got signed for $10 million a year, what's a $50,000 wedding? It's like
probably $150,000 wedding.
I hope not. I don't know. It depends on who you That's the big thing we want to look. It depends on how many people you invite. That's what the big determining factor of how much a wedding costs. It's not where you have it or what you have at the wedding. It's how many people show up to eat.
Well, come on, man. Let's be real.
I'm not wrong on that.
100 people, 300 people. It's a big difference.
It's 3 times the difference, in fact.
Yeah.
I would say that.
So it's amazing. When you talk about $100, you go from, $1,000 to $3,000.
Oh, that'd be $10.
Sorry, you're right.
The math is not so easy after all.
Rats.
All right, but like I said, it looks like John Runyon should be nothing major there. But like I said, we're just trying to update you guys on all the news there. It's something to keep an eye on, just in case.
He will be playing this game because he has to pay off his wedding.
Yeah. Just God forbid, knock on wood here, that he happens to re-injure himself. You know that it was a past injury he had briefly during practice there. So he said, hopefully good to go. We're not trying to put that out there in the world, but trying to keep you guys up to date.
And congratulations to John.
Oh, yeah. And congratulations to the new Mr. and Mrs. Runyon Jr. Do you say that about her? Is she Mrs. Runyon Jr.? Is that what you say? No, you don't, right? Because she's not John. She's just.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Runyon Jr. Yeah.
No, I said I don't know. I don't think I think she's just Mrs. Runyon. I think that's the rule.
Modern day, yes.
Modern day.
Well, 150 years ago, you would say Mr. or Mrs. like John Runyon Jr.
150 years ago, you say they're spinsters for being nearly 30 and just getting married. Should be married for 10, 15 years by now.
Touche.
Anyway, let's give an update on the offensive line here. So we talked about these guys earlier in the week here. Michael Schmitz and I was the John Runyon Jr. John Michael Schmitz and Evan Neal. So we talked about the fact they were back to practice. They were doing some of the some of the individual drills at that point there and some walkthroughs and stuff like that, but they were out from the full padded practices and all that kind of stuff. Guys, they're full go now. They are a full go. And the nice thing is, by all accounts, it seems like Evan Neal is officially the backup tackle. He is not the starter. Like, they're not plug him back in and move Illuminor over. So that is music to my ears. Yeah, that is a ringing in my head. I'm not sure which one it is. Hopefully it's the music. But, he's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. So as much as we ragged on him, and I'll continue to rag on him for this damn burger flipper comedy he gave last year.
Oh,
but I'll give him credit. He's come back from this injury. He said the right things. He's done the right things. And, I got no issues with that whatsoever. That's what you're supposed to do. Come back a little humbled because you just lost your starting job. And say, I'm just here to help the team any way I can. And if you think the team is wrong for doing that to you, you know what? In 2 years, you'll be a free agent. You can go wherever you want.
100%.
You're probably won't be here unless things improve.
Drastically.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like I said, it's good to see him at least back on the field because Josh Azudu, I'm not a fan of. I'm not saying that Evan Neal is any better, but he was spectacular in college. So maybe he works better now, and especially he's got, Priscilla there, an actual offensive line coach this year. Maybe he develops into, and this is going to sound really bad. This is my hope. I'm going to say that point blank. Maybe he develops into a good swing tackle. And that's not good for where we drafted him, guys. It's really horrible for where we drafted him. But I still can't hate the pick because we all were for it when it came out. Pundits, fans, content creators, all of us were ecstatic that we got Thibodeau and Neal. But what I can sit there and say is he's going to be on the team for the next 2 years because of money. So if you can get a use out of him, an actual use, that's not a bad thing, guys. And Josh Azudu, I'm sorry, he's not a good swing tackle. I think he's still better than the inside. So you could potentially improve the depth even more. And there's nothing wrong with that ever. JMS, I just hope he stays healthy this year. I know he got a lot of crud for how he played last year. Guys, he was injured all year long.
Pretty much, yeah.
All year long, guys, pretty much. Like his best games, if you watch his best games, they were early in the season before any injuries happened.
Like week 4.
He had 2 injuries and kept playing through until he couldn't for the last week there. I mean, I give him a lot of credit for fighting through. I still have a lot of faith in him. I still think he's going to be a good player. It's just a matter of how high that ceiling is. We're going to find out. But I don't think you see a year like you saw last year ever again from JMS. And I'm not just saying that because I'm going like this under the desk in the meantime.
Yeah.
So.
No, but it's also not to say he's going to have that blowout year we thought he could have potentially this year, but because he was injured last year. But there's the potential. There's definitely the upswing.
He's still a good player. He's a smart player. You heard people come into camp and say the fact that he's been a leader. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can pull off in the regular season now. All right, let's pay the bills. Then we got 3 more injuries to go over. Oh my God, will the injuries ever stop?
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
Alrighty, guys. And keep in mind, we're going into September soon when people start Christmas shopping. It's a great Christmas gift as well. A subscription to buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
As if you're one of those like, hey, let's get ahead of the game.
Oh yeah, get ahead of the game.
Yeah. So guys, fellas, get your wife a nice subscription.
Oh yeah, that's what the wife
Giant Goofballs.
Don't get that coach bag.
Yeah. Just saying. It's thoughtful.
Let's get. We got 3 more injuries here before we get people divorced here. First one, another rookie here. Andrew Phillips, whatever you want to call him. I see people call him both at that point. I like calling him Drew. It's a nice name.
I wonder why.
It's a nice name. But yeah, another injury as well that we're really not too sure much on. So ankle injury, he missed practice on Monday. Dable said it isn't a big injury. That's all they kind of commented on it. And that's what I hate about this time of the year. It's like, I understand you don't have to give this information out, but as a fan who craves information nonstop,
just give me the news.
I want to know what happened. How did he get injured? You know, is it a limited? Is he back to full health? Is it like what's going on here?
Yeah. What happened?
So I guess we'll find out Saturday. If he plays Saturday, we know he's doing good, and it's not an issue. But if he doesn't play Saturday, we'll see.
Questions.
But like I said, not a big injury, they're saying. But we're already having injuries with Cordell Flott at there, having tons of injuries at the safety position as well, which we'll get to one in a minute here. You know, it's starting to get a little issues as far as too many injuries at the secondary as a whole, along with running back, of course. So hopefully nothing major for Drew, because he's a guy that needs the time in training camp. Like we talked about when we drafted him, this kid's a project. A lot of physical talent, but he's a project. So the worst thing for a project is to not have time. Time with coaches, time in camp, time in practices like that. Not that they don't practice all year long, but when you're practicing during the regular season, you're practicing to face an opponent. You're not practicing to get ready for the season. There's a huge difference in how you practice.
You're not learning the book. So there's a difference. Like when you're in preseason, like in your training camp, you're learning the different books, the different setups. So granted, you will learn new, formations and plays as it season goes on. But like you're learning the fundamentals of where your coach wants you to be, how your setup's going to be, and how your route's going to be.
Yeah.
And it's granted, like once again, it will change through the season, but like you're going to learn how the guys next to you move, how the guys, the coaching staff wants you to move, and you figure out how pretty much your role in this position is going to be, if you will. And you're not going to learn those steps. You're not going to learn that tempo. Like there's different scenarios. Like as silly as it sounds, like once the quarterback calls snap, like you go almost to like a dance, and like you got to know the tempo of where your coach wants you to be and where all your other players are going to be to back you up what you're going to do. So like you're talking about the corner position, like all right, so snap 1, 2, 3, you know where your safety is going to be. Well, if you're in the free zone and you snap and you just drop back 3 paces, but you drop out 3 paces to the right instead of to the left, it changes the dynamics, hands down, of how that defense looks. And this is the time where you learn. You don't learn it during the regular season.
Yep. No, agreed. And Deb says, if you're a project, you can't really expect much the first year anyway. Yes, but you're still not as far along if you lose that time. That's what it is. Because the big thing with him is some of the fundamentals, which sounds a little weird because you think you'd pick that up kind of stuff up in college, but he was able to get away with his pure physical traits at that point in college a lot more. So he needs help as far as how he moves his hips, how he backpedals, that kind of stuff that Jerome Henderson can spend a lot of time with him on during training camp. But during the season, you're learning more against how to go against that team you're about to face. What plays they do, who's on their team, what tells they might have to what direction they're going to go when they're about to make a move, that kind of stuff. This is the time of the year to correct some of that stuff. The off season as well, but they don't, unfortunately for rookies, they don't really get an off season. They go right from playing to training for combine to going to the combine and the all-star games to getting drafted to, going right to rookie minicamp like that's rookie year is a little rough. It really is a little rough. But hopefully he's had enough time between that rookie minicamp and the OTAs and stuff like that. He's got some of that stuff taken care of because he's got the physical traits. If they can ever get some of that stuff fixed, he's got potential to be a good player. I just think, to me, he's going to be a boom or bust kind of prospect.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. As John says, they can learn by playing Madden football at home. No, they can't, John. Stop. If only it was that easy. If it was that simple, then me in high school, I'd been a great NFL player. I could have told you that every single player on that Madden 99 roster at that point. All right, we got one more injury here in the secondary there, and that's Javarius Owens, who also now is hurt. And I look at him as another guy who's on the bubble. We didn't know what was going to happen with him. Was he going to get hurt? Was he going to make the roster? Was he not going to make the roster? Then he got the injury with Jaylen Mills, who again hasn't practiced this entire training camp. Started on the PUP list and hasn't come off it since. So he was out. Now Owens is out, and I go, okay. Like, at what point are we running out of safeties? And that's kind of where we're at. But this is a guy that might not make the roster now, guys. Like, the second year in the league, but he's just, such a late round pick. You don't care if you cut a guy like that. And if you had asked him before the injury, I'd say, yeah, he's going to make the roster. He's going to be active on game day. He's going to be ready to go because he's going to be safety number 4. Now with him being injured, depending on how long he's out for, if Jaylen Mills comes back and takes that spot, that's possible.
It's 100% possible.
We don't know the severity of the injury. It's a knee injury. That's all we know. He's listed as day-to-day. But again, this is one of those scenarios where I'd love to have some more information so I kind of know what's going on as far as that stuff. But the Giants aren't going to give that out till they have to right before week 1. That's when they have to start giving that information out. So, hopefully it is truly a day-to-day situation where he's up and going in a couple of days again and good to go. But we're going to have to keep an eye out that and, hopefully he makes it. I like an underdog. You're a 7th round pick. You're an underdog automatically. You're drafted as an underdog. Like you're not expected to make it in this league, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like those guys.
7th round, pick
years.
your underdog. Yeah. Who's not going to make it in this league?
Yeah.
Who might?
For every Brock Purdy, there's 10,000 people in the 7th round who never ever see the light of the NFL field, basically. Which is what happens.
They do.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So, all righty, guys, we got one more injury, and I have good news for you guys. It's not us. It's not us.
We did it.
So, it's J.J. McCarthy, a Vikings player. As it's funny because right then John puts, hey, did you see J.J. McCarthy out for the year? Can you imagine if we picked him and then got I put that down before YouTube gets mad at the language John's using, but yeah, we heard about the J.J. McCarthy being out for the year there. So he's in for surgery on a meniscus injury there. And when he's in for surgery, they find out he's got a torn meniscus. It needs a repair. When you repair a knee like that, guess what? You done. You're out for the year. His season is officially over. That's not much. You got a little bit of time. And he looked good in that first preseason game. That's the thing. It sucks for him.
Yeah, it definitely sucks. And it's crazy because, him being at his spot, if he was an average Joe like you and I, Drew,
yeah,
he would not be in that surgery.
No.
Because when it comes to a flip meniscus, most doctors won't go in there unless you tore your MCL or your ACL.
Yep.
And because he is who he is, they went, oh, your meniscus flipped. Let's see what we can do for you. Oh, we're going to have to stitch that down to your tibia and your fibula. Ooh. Guess what? Play next year. Boom.
John says, the other part of the text didn't come through. He says, no, we're trying to keep the language down so YouTube doesn't get mad at us. But yeah, it's a bad luck, dude. It's a bad time to be a Viking fan. So you got JJ McCarthy out for the year. You have a torn ACL on one of their starting corners. You have one of their rookies, who's also a corner, dies in a car crash. And
Very tragic.
Yeah, and now today, just today, Jordan Addison leaves on a cart at practice.
Not on a chart, but on a cart.
Yes. Now, his injury is kind of like a Tyrone Tracy issue than what they're saying here. He's carted off the field, but it's not too big a deal. It's an ankle injury, according to head coach Kevin O'Connell. So, we may see him. We'll see. But, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, TJ Hawkinson is going to be out for the first couple months because he had an ACL injury as well. So, week 1, you look at the Vikings, and you could have gone, okay, well, we'll see what JJ McCarthy is. We're not sure, but they still got, really good receiving core and everything. Yeah. Like Justin Jefferson will probably still be there, but Jordan Addison, we don't know.
I was about to say to all you fantasy players out there is still paying attention to the league the early that's you come into it. Don't go JJ in your first round because he's good. Who's going to throw to him?
Listen, he's going
to be on a lonely island. He's not a number 1 pick. He's going to be a high number 2 pick.
I disagree because there's no one else to throw to if Jordan Addison is out for a little while, and then TJ.
But who's throwing the ball to him?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't, because look at Jordan Addison last year. Maybe a bad time to bring him up, but he had almost 1,000 yards as a rookie with random Joe Schmoes throwing the ball. I mean, how many people do they have throwing the ball? Like that guy had and I still wonder if the Vikings now, because of this, are going to call up a guy like a Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, that would listen. If you guys haven't done your draft yet, and Tannehill comes up.
And listen, Tannehill is not a great quarterback at this point in his career. Not that he was ever a great quarterback. He was at least above average.
He is just a below Kirk Cousins quarterback.
That's probably pretty accurate. But he's a hell of a lot better than anybody got on the roster. Because otherwise, guess what, guys? It's Sam Darnold's turn. Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Let's chalk week 1 to a win now.
Score.
That's where we're at that point, if that's what happens. Because that's just, yeah, that's not good, guys. If Sam Darnold is your starting quarterback. I mean, the guy was a 3rd-string quarterback for the Niners last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good. So, listen, I feel bad for Viking fans. It's not many times as a Giant fan lately I can feel bad for the team. I feel bad for them. That sucks. That's a rough go,
Yeah, especially like the way it started with if you want to say injuries.
Yeah. By the way, their other starting cornerback had an injury already too as well. One of their backup wide receivers had an injury. Like they've gotten this is not the injury bug. This is the injury infestation for them. Like we're talking about minor injury,
if you will.
Yeah, like
epidemic.
They're walking around with masks on just in case.
Yeah.
They're at the point now where it's just like, it's just like one more, and they're just throw in the towel the whole season.
Just forfeit everything. Whoever plays this,
we're done. We're done.
Give them the win.
Now I'm going to practice the rest of the preseason.
Yeah.
We can't take the risks, guys. We can't take the risks. All righty, guys. So that calls it a night for us here. We're finally over all the Giants injuries, but damn, it's a lot of injuries. But like I said, luckily most of them are minor injuries, nothing major there. We'll be back tomorrow to give you guys our preview of the Houston Texans game here coming up on Saturday for preseason week 2. Just a heads up, that one will be recorded because guess whose birthday it is? These two guys over here. Both of us have our birthday this weekend, so we're going to be celebrating all weekend long. So we'll have that there for you guys. So it's already pre-recorded. We recorded before we did this one. I must tell you, it's very nice. I'm not just saying that because I was
super nice.
Very nice. But yeah, we'll have that there for you guys. Regular time, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then we'll be back Monday to give you guys our post-game thoughts on the game there as well. So appreciate you guys listening in as always. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and of course Rob's favorite.
Profile. Yeah. I got so excited on that one.
Oh, I know you were so excited. I can tell. It's better to burst. and of course, always available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms. So, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon, all the big ones there. So if you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share. Welcome anybody who's new as well. We had a lot of new subscribers lately too, so much appreciate you guys as well there. So as John says, happy birthday, Mr. and Mrs. Goofballs. Which one of us is Mr.? Which one of us Mrs. John? I'm curious. Yeah. We both have beards, so neither one of us can really play the game, but you'd be horrible drag queens.
Terrible.
Yeah, no real good art bingo nights, that's for sure. All right, guys. We'll see you guys again on Monday, but be there tomorrow. Like I said, it's a good episode, and you never know. Rob and I tend to pop into the chats to give people, responses as well, because we don't like doing the pre-recorded, to be honest with you guys. We'd rather do it live, talk to you all, but life happens. So we'll see you guys Monday.
I don't know how much sake or hibachi I'm going to have tomorrow, but it is definitely going to be a fun comment section.
Well, I'll be cleaning the house because that's what I have to do. I have people coming over for my birthday. So people coming over Saturday, and then we're off to Typhoon Lagoon at Disney World on Sunday. So, oh yes, I haven't been there. All the times I've been to all the Disney parks, I've never been to the water parks. My wife's not very big into water parks there. So,
well, I mean, I don't know.
I like water parks. Listen, if you give me a good glass of rum and a lazy river.
Oh, that's solid. Listen,
and a pretzel.
I'll also be in Atlantic City.
I want a really big pretzel.
There you go. I'll be in Atlantic City, guys. So if you guys want to see this goofball down at the Hard Rock,
he'll be the one
who's only be for a little bit.
His paycheck.
Yeah. It's so good.
I can't make rent.
No, it'll be more about wine and dining.
$0 bounce. I'm one pull away. All righty, guys. We'll see you guys later. Again, appreciate you guys for watching. And as always, Giant fans,
go Jaylen!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.